When you think about the book of Job, what comes to mind? Oftentimes, we focus on the fact that it's a book about a man who had great loss, who went through great suffering, but didn't turn his back on God. And that is true. For 41 chapters, that is the theme of the book, that Job endured so much, but never turned his back on God, and God never turned his back on Job. That God loved Job in the midst of his trials, struggles, and loss. Our life is a lot like that too. We go through seasons of loss and hurt and pain in our life. But it's important for us not to forget the final chapter of Job, the restoration that took place. In chapter 42, verse 12, it says this: the Lord blessed the latter part of Job's life more than his former part. There's a season in our life where we go through hardships, loss, struggles, but there's also a season of restoration. And sometimes, even if our life is a struggle the entire way through and hardships the entire way through, we need to remember, for those who trust in Jesus, there's a season that comes after this. There's a life after this life, a season of restoration, of ultimate healing, of incredible blessing. So whether we receive our blessings on this side of eternity or the next, that blessing is promised to those who put their faith in Jesus. I love how the chapter ends. It says this in verse 16. After this, Job lived 140 years. He saw his children and their children for the fourth generation. And so Job died an old man and full of years. We all have that hope that we will live a full life, to be able to look back on our life and to see the legacy we left for our kids, our grandkids, whether they're biological or spiritual, that we want to leave a legacy of faithfulness, of endurance. And we believe that even in the midst of hardships, God's blessings flow in your life. So let's stick to it. Let's keep going for Jesus, and let's see what's possible. What can we do with God in our life for this season that we're in? That's today's Ministry Minute.